Hello, survivors, and welcome to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast.
Today we're going to be talking about something special, something different, something foreign. It's called
Me.
Outside. But before we get into the movie, let me introduce the beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, fabulous co-hosts. I have Eric.
It's me. I'm Eric.
And we have TJ.
Happy Independence Day.
Aw, don't date the episode.
Aw, man.
November 22nd, Independence Day. God, now everybody knows.
And what we're going to be talking about is the movie Outside, a Netflix original from 2024. So, spoiler alerts, everybody who is listening to this. This movie I thought was really interesting. I think the foreign filmmaking is far surpassing American filmmaking in the zombie genre. We'll get into that. But
I think
real
maybe
quick.
just in general, but
Maybe just in general.
definitely zombies.
But just a quick storyline here. A family retreats to an isolated farm during a zombie outbreak, but years of painful secrets take a toll as they navigate their desolate world. So, without any further ado, why don't we get into this? I know that you guys have some things to say about it. What did you guys think?
Apparently, Asians are just better at making zombie movies. Fuck all these American zombie movies, bro.
True.
The Japanese make it better. The Koreans make it better. Now the Filipinos are coming in hot, dude.
Yeah, that really is just out of nowhere. And honestly, what a shame American zombie movies have just kind of taken a crap.
Also, the mom in this movie is on some Jenny from Forrest Gump type shit. Fuck this bitch.
She sucked.
She really did.
She is the cause of this man's madness.
I will say, okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Actually, you guys agree.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I said that.
Yeah, no, that was the breaking point, you know?
So, yeah, Alex was telling me that he broke because she wouldn't stop lying to him. And I agree. Although this movie did a great job of making me, from the very beginning, I was like, wow, it's like she's not on his team. Like she's actively working against him this whole time. And then I was like, oh, when they started talking and I was like, oh, he must have done something. And then I find out she did something. And then I found out what she did. And I was like, oh, dude, man, she sucks.
It was such a sharp decline from the opening of this movie. They're at their wedding. They're so happy. And I'm like, oh, something's going to go wrong. And it's going to cut to them being like murdered or something. No, it was just them freaking depressed in the car. I was like, dude.
They did such a good job of telling you little bits of the story, like kind of just baby bird feeding it to you as you go. Because in the beginning, you're like, well, clearly there's a lot of tension here, but you have no idea why.
Yeah.
And then you slowly start figuring out why. And it's not even till like 75% into the movie before you know the full story of what's actually happening here.
You kind of figure when you first see them in the car, you're like, oh, zombie apocalypse. Of course they're going to be fucking depressed. And then they get to the house.
That's what I thought.
And there was just like this tension in the air that you could feel. And it's like, this isn't normal zombie apocalypse like tension, you know? Like normally you'd like seek comfort in your family in hard times, but it's kind of like just didn't happen.
To me, I don't know. This felt not, I don't know how to describe it. Like this felt as real as a movie can get in a sense that like a lot of movies have like stupid plot armor that, and I'm not saying this movie didn't have that, but a lot of zombie movies will have like stupid plot armor that makes you think like, wow, this is completely, why would a human act that way? You can never imagine a human really acting that way. But this movie, I don't know. I kind of understood all the characters, even though I really disagreed with them and at some points really hated them. I understood them, even the mom. The only thing I didn't understand from her was wanting to leave her kids. Wanting to leave him, sure. Being scared of him, sure. But wanting to ditch her kids in the very beginning is just, I just don't understand that. I don't understand how a mother could ever imagine that as an option.
So I'll tell you a phrase. that is very common on social media lately. It is, Men will sacrifice their happiness for their family. Women
He
will
did.
sacrifice their family for their happiness.
This guy, everything he did was for his family.
Even when he went nuts.
Yeah.
Now, guys,
Even at the very end, when he bolted out of there, he sprinted to the car.
my catchphrase is coming up. Hear me out. The dad was not like an amazingly attractive man, but the brother, I see why she went for the brother. You know, like he got a little bit of, I'm sure he had a little bit of swag, you know? Like I see why she did it, but also she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, like, but she went purely off of like, oh, you know what I imagine it was for her? I imagine it was just the thrill. That's what I imagine it was for her, because
I disagree.
this guy was willing to give everything. Now,
She didn't care.
there's an argument to be said
She
that
wanted to use him to get her to his brother.
there's an argument, I think, to be made that she or that he might not have always been that way, but it seems like he always was that way, where he would just give everything for his family. It's wild to me that she would give that up.
Yes.
But I think she was forced to, considering the fact that their first kid is not his. So I think
would've
that
taken
has
shit
a
to the grave, bro.
You know, I mean,
she tried.
look, that's what they say is you reveal an affair to end a relationship, not to keep it. When somebody, man or woman, reveals that they've been having an affair, they're doing it to ease their own guilt, not because they want the relationship to be healthy and strong. That it's never going to make anything better. You know, if you really want the relationship to stay and you fucked up and it's just a mistake and you love that person and you want to be with that person, it is on you to hold that guilt in and keep it to yourself and not harm that other person, because what is the good that's going to come out of it? All you're going to do is make yourself feel better. You're not going to make them feel better. You're not going to fix the relationship. You're not going to undo, as they say. You can't unring that bell. But what I wanted to ask you guys about, very important in the survival realm, because this movie highlights this. With all of their personal problems, I think this movie did a fantastic job of revealing that on top of all of the external environmental problems that are going on, that you have all of these zombies everywhere, here's the harsh reality. Life goes on, right? Like if you're one of the living, you're going to have like these normal natural problems compounding on top of the zombie apocalypse. This movie did a great job of demonstrating how that problem can be manifested exponentially bad. You know, an affair is bad. I think we all agree, no matter what you want to say about the partner, the character, what they did, what they didn't do, whatever, whether it was deserved, not deserved,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. An affair is bad, right? Nobody looks at somebody having an affair and says, oh, that's an honorable, good person, right? It's always bad. But now put that on top of the zombie apocalypse, and this is what you have. Do you think that was a good portrayal of real life problems being compounded by this, we'll call it a disaster?
I do think so. That's what I really loved about this movie, is that the zombies were honestly not in this movie that often. This is a long movie. This is a
2
very
hours
long
and
movie.
some
It is.
change.
This is 2 hours and like 19 minutes because the credits are like 3 minutes long. So
Yeah.
this is a very long movie, and the zombies do not show up that often, but it was exhilarating. It was an incredible movie, and it was because of all the tension, and you're watching this family slowly spiral. And I feel awful for the kids because both of their
Yeah.
parents kind of sucked.
And then
Especially by the end, they both really suck.
all the stuff with like the house they're in. I don't know if we mentioned it. It's the father's like parents' house where he was abused. There is a room downstairs where he was locked in, and it looks like he'd be in there for a minute. There's carvings on the wall and
Yeah,
stuff.
he was basically
So
held captive.
that and his, all the shit with his wife and, all this stuff, plus the zombie apocalypse. kind of just turned the gears,
Now, what does kind of baffle me, I say it baffles me, but I do understand it, but it's still just what the hell, is that they were willing to move on. The guy especially. You even heard when he said...
So
they talked, and he said, I'm willing to move on if you are. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys watched it in Filipino. I did. There's random parts where they just say a sentence in English, complete English. It's so funny to me. I don't know if it's intentionally like that. I don't know if Filipinos often use English phrases in there.
The ones I knew did.
But it's
My
like...
buddy's mom would be screaming at him in Tagalog, and then out of nowhere, you would just hear English.
Because, like, there's Spanglish.
And she was a nurse, too.
Oh, dude.
There's Spanglish, but, like, I don't know if that's a common thing in Filipino language.
My thought was, the one clip of Soup and they were prank calling Wendy. The dude, Baconator. That's how I felt. They just kind of threw English words in. Like that's at the beginning of the episode. I said Happy Independence Day. He just said that randomly in a freaking military uniform he stole off of somebody.
Which that shit was creepy.
He really went off.
Went off the deep end.
Off the rails.
Well, I mean, look at him celebrating Christmas. It was September?
Yeah.
And he said Christmas can be any time.
Yeah, and then she supported it because she was at that point she was fighting for her life, but where she was like, go, your father says it's Christmas, so it's Christmas. Like, okay, I believe in communism in the house, democracy for the public, but that's like not a good communism at all.
Not it, bro.
Yeah, that's a psychotic kind of control, which was very obvious considering he killed that soldier and took that uniform. So but my whole point in saying this is that they agreed that they were going to move on. He said, I'm willing to just move past it.
Yep.
And she agreed. And then for a brief second, they were on the same team. And everything was going well to a point where she said, I want to try going north. And he said, fuck it. Let's try. And he tried. Now, I will say, I think on the bridge, he was dealing with a lot of shit himself. And he ultimately did save his family. But the fact that he even let her go down that bridge on her own is insane. And I want to say a survival trick that I think I would do is they pulled up to this bridge that was blocked off. There was cars all along the right side, and on the left side, there was, like on the left lane, there was a motorcycle and then a barricade with barbed wire. And so her thought was, I'm going to go and move it. The husband said, no, it's getting dark. Let's head back to where we know we're safe. This isn't worth it. It's blocked off. And clearly that barricade was there for a reason and it did not work. So let's go back. And she said, no, and got out of the car with her machete all confident and ran up to the barbed wire, tried destroying it, made a bunch of noise, and a whole bunch of zombies come out. He saves her, but he was just sitting in the car. I would never let my wife just go on her own. Now, granted, he had the kids, but here's where I think the survival technique comes in. I think you turn the car around for a quick escape. That's what I'm thinking, because leaving the car there, now you have to reverse out of that. And I don't know. I just think it's better to be ready to just dash out. And there was just a lot of weird moments, like where he told her to get down, where she's like 20 feet away from him. And she was easily outrunning this zombie.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. And then, I don't know, but any thoughts on that scene?
Lapse in judgment in this movie that I seen that I wanted to talk about. I forgot about it, but I just got reminded of it when he originally gets to the house. He's walking around. He has like a pipe in his hand, right? His only weapon.
Yes.
Goes upstairs, walks into the room, finds his dad unalived, right? By his own hand. Grabs the gun that he used, puts it in his waistband, leaves his original melee weapon, and then walks out of the room. Why would you not keep that with you?
Yep.
You're inside.
I have. So when I first saw that scene, I did not understand that was his parents' house.
Nope.
And that those were his parents. I didn't get that. So when he walked in there and he grabbed the gun, my first thought was, why not just smash the head with the tire iron? Just make sure, right? Like these things are coming back from from the grave. Why not just take a tire iron to the head just to make sure, and then grab the gun, and then I guess grab the watch if you want it. But yeah, I noticed that when he left the tire iron, there was a few moments in this movie that made me just go, why?
I mean,
why would you do that?
So first, I'll address the bridge. Mind you, that was the point where they left the house. They were going to start all over. They had already had their conversation. They get in the car, they're driving, and before they get to the bridge, that was the ordeal where the kid said, yeah, Uncle Bobby, what was his name? Uncle told us.
Diego.
Uncle Diego told us to go north too. When did he tell you that?
Oh, yeah.
Before.
Oh,
and he was
Jim.
like, what do you mean? Yeah, Uncle Diego told us to go north before, right, Mom? Remember? And he was like, when did he tell you this? And of course, she didn't want to answer. So all of that was, you gotta give the guy a little bit of credit because he saved his cheating wife with his brother, who had his eldest son with his brother. That's not his kid.
It's his nephew.
And he's still taking care of him and trying to raise him like it's his son. And the kid doesn't know anything and is calling him Pa. And I mean, you got to give the guy a little bit of credit. He's still, even though he told the woman, no, we don't go through this bridge. It's blocked off. We can't. It's getting late. And her dumbass gets out of the car and goes, I'm going to go handle it myself. And I'm just telling you my personal perspective. With all of that anger and all of that animosity, he proved to be a better man than me. I would have driven away.
No, because
I get that.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
right. So they make up. They're like, oh yeah, we're willing to compromise. We can make this work. Head north. Learns all the shit about the brother calling and whatever. So
And
he
he
knows that
says-
she's being a little fucking lying bitch.
And he says in the car, he says, move on. Move
Yeah.
on.
Right?
Yep.
They get there, sees that you can't go past. Hey, it's getting dark. We got to head back. It's unsafe. And she's a little too thirsty and she gets out of the car. Like, we can try again later. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't say that we couldn't try again. Like, why are you
It's just
getting
it's
out
dark.
of the car?
Like, this is not a good. And then to go by yourself is just so dumb.
And then make noise.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a really her
Cut
judgment there was
barbed wire with a
awful.
machete. You fucking idiot.
It was working. I'll give her that. But so I honestly, she was dumb for doing that, but I don't even fault her there. She was desperate to make this plan work, and it didn't work. They got out by the skin of their teeth, which is a weird expression, but they got out by the skin of their teeth. They get back, and then he tells her, we tried it your way. Now we do it my way, which is we hunker down and we live a farm life. We live a peaceful farm life and avoid all the chaos in the world. And she just refused to be a housewife. She just immediately went back to sulking and being depressed and
She
smoking
mopped the floor.
cigarettes. Yeah, she mopped the floor and then smoked a cigarette and looked all depressed.
She did what
and
we
mopey.
forced Maddie to do in Project Zomboid.
Oh, you don't know about that, Alex.
we just give her freaking cleaning supplies. Here you go.
We give her a mop and bleach, and we're like, in a bucket, and we're like, hey, there's blood on the
There's blood
stairs.
on the there's blood on the everywhere in this building that we just cleared out.
So here's a quick reading from the comments. We have Madison who says, out of context, it sounds like you're talking about The Walking Dead season 3. I get all of that. Lori in the prison.
Oh, yeah.
Having a kid that's not Rick's.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So moving on in the thing, I think we all agree that she was, I mean, my impression, you guys tell me if you agree or not. My impression was she was trying to get North to go be with Diego.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, using her husband to do that. Yeah.
Using her
Fair.
husband to do it.
That's
And
why, so to round out my thought, that's why she just refused to just be a housewife, is she still felt unhappy. And which is insane that the world is ending around you and that's even a thought in your mind.
Yep.
Like
Hey.
at this point, go back to primitive thoughts. You have a man who is taking care of you and your kids. Suck
But
it the
other
fuck
guy
up
had a
and mop the
nicer
floor,
car and a
dude.
bigger
Like,
gun, dude.
like, what the?
What was
shut
that?
The,
I said the other guy has a nicer car and a bigger gun.
Yeah, but I mean,
Hey, she
he
was
did
she was-
save their
she's-
life, but he owed the brother for sure.
Here's the thing. This is what I'm curious about. I mean, yeah, he had a bigger gun, but that doesn't mean better.
It also didn't save him. But
Didn't save him. The car didn't
Yeah,
save
no,
him.
the dad definitely he had a perfectly average sized gun. It was perfectly average.
And here's
big,
what sucks.
Even, you know,
Here's what sucks. This is what sucks is the brother didn't come to get this woman. Iris was her name. Diego didn't come to get Iris. He fled north with his wife and kid.
Yep.
Oh,
So these are all assholes.
Yep. That it just goes to show that the husband is honestly, he was such a good man, and it's a shame to see that she drove him to such
literally
insanity.
Her fault.
It is entirely on her.
I would literally go insane if I found out that my son that I've been raising for all these years is just not mine.
Yeah.
And let alone my brother's. I would want to murder him. Like,
He told him, you fucking leave, go away, and then he told his wife that oh, I didn't make it in time. He must have died.
and it's like all this abuse in our house growing up. We're supposed to stick together, type shit.
That's another.
Why are you doing this to me? You know?
I don't understand her mentality at all. She was completely delusional and willing to sacrifice her family, and then she would still play victim, and it drove me crazy because I'm like, this is entirely the world is ending around you. What are you going after?
That's the will you survive? That's our distinction, right? Modern women today will choose a bear over a man. You know, would you choose the zombie apocalypse over a man? This woman was smart enough to stay with him, but she wanted him to bring her to another man. And she thought that was a wise idea when there's no law enforcement. There's no way to get equal footing with this man. He can do whatever he wants to you strength-wise. She was.
Like, let's go to a hospital after he got bit. Yeah. We got to go to a hospital. What hospital, lady?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. I thought the same exact thing. I yelled at the screen the same exact thing. What hospital, lady?
You are a nurse. You worked in a hospital. There are no hospitals.
But then there's the trippy part is you brought it up earlier. He didn't think. He just ran to the car.
Yeah. That's why I mean, like, she drove him insane, but this guy would give anything for his family.
Yeah.
She literally stabbed him in the back, locked him in a room.
Exactly.
He pulled the knife out, broke out of the room to save his family.
Like he was
killed the zombie, got mad at her, and then when they found out his son was bit, it looks like he cowardly runs out, but he sprints all the way to the bridge in the dark to get this car. And then,
I'm sure she was so fucking happy when she realized it was her kid, not
him.
Not him.
Yeah.
Which that was such a tragic moment. I don't know if we want to get into that yet. The ending. Do we?
Well, okay. So there was a couple of other points which I wanted to see. I want to get your guys' take.
Okay.
On the scene where he has his nephew, he has his eldest shooting. And he's like yelling at him, and he's doing.
That stressed me the fuck out.
Okay, so I wanted to go into some micro detail that was bothering me. Was it just me, or was he like gagging and fighting back the urge to puke?
I thought he was going through like rabies.
That's what I thought. I thought the dog infected him.
I thought that's why he was going crazy, is because of like rabies.
That's what I thought.
I thought at any moment he's gonna start being afraid of water. You know,
he did that multiple times, and it was always when he got
and like the stutter.
It was, to me, it was when he was becoming like his father. Is when he would start doing this more. Is when he would start doing crazy actions that you could assume, based off of what you knew in the movie, that was probably what his dad did to him.
My assumption is
they threw me off with that dog bite because that dog bite really served no purpose whatsoever.
No, they introduced the dog later, but I forget what he did about
No,
the
he
dog
had
later.
the bandage on already when he was yelling at his son. He was like,
yeah, I know.
He had the bandage, so he was already bit. And so I was like, why is he holding back vomit? Is he going to throw up? Is he sick? I thought the same thing as you, TJ. He had some kind of rabies. He's infected. He has some major sickness. And it would have been a great example of this is why he's losing his mind. Okay, but now we move past that small micro detail. Go to a bigger detail.
Well, hang on. They showed the dog later again, but I forget what he did.
It was pointless. Oh yeah, he did eat him.
He ate the dog.
He did. Yeah, he looked outside. He saw the
Which-
dog, and then all of a sudden he's eating meat, and he's like, "It's
If-
delicious. You should try it."
If I was the mom-
I don't know why I thought that
Yeah.
was. I thought she was saying no because I thought she assumed it was the soldier.
That's what I was saying.
That's what-
If I was the mom, I would have
Oh.
assumed it was the soldier and not the
That's
dog.
what I thought. I didn't
the
even
dog
think it
just
was the dog
disappeared.
for a second.
The dog just disappeared.
I
just
didn't
said,
think about
I
that.
got it
for
from
even-
outside.
That's way better because I thought he like chopped off the leg of this soldier and was just full cannibalism. So that actually makes me feel better about him.
Cause he had the fucking is this when he had the attire on? Like he stole the dude's clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Nah.
That's why I thought it was full blown cannibalism. But that's good. Okay.
It
So,
was the
all
dog.
right, another comment break. Josh, our subscriber, one of them, he says the expression on the wife's face from the beginning of the movie, she already looks like she hates her husband. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You said it right from the beginning. That they walk into that house for the first time. She's standing there, like he goes to smoke, and he's like, "Really?" Like his expression. I think
She
he
goes to
actually,
smoke.
I think he actually said something like, "Are you really doing this?" And she just stares at him. He's like, "Really?" And then he walks away. And I'm like, I agree with your assessment. They were not on the same team, right?
Yeah, like even when he got the well water, and like that should be an exciting moment for the family.
The
Like,
kids were excited. They were
now
fucking
have fresh
thrilled.
water, and she's like sitting there scowling and giving him the stink eye. She was just.
And
It's just such a lack of perspective. What's going on around you that shouldn't even matter anymore.
Right.
I kind of want to point out before it was blatantly said for the audience that his son was not his son. Remember when they went into that like shed with the chickens in it, and the
Yeah.
dude was hanging there? I feel like he wouldn't have done that if that was like his son. I think he knew.
I disagree.
I
I
think
think there's
he
a
was
reason
like
for that.
pushing him because like he knew some. You know?
You know what I thought it was? I related me and you, Alex, because I saw a lot lot of you in the dad,
Oh, that's sad.
but not the
I
crazy
feel like that
parts.
should be minus some
No.
points.
Not the crazy locking your family in a house thing at the end. The whole like everything that man did was for his family at the sacrifice of himself.
Eric Blink.
Everything. And so, no, but
For the chat, he blinked like a fucking maniac.
what I saw in that scene was the dad had just had to kill his own mom when she was a zombie and crawling towards him. And for a second, this was before you knew about his past, so I thought he was innocent up until this point. I thought these were two random zombies, and he just had to kill one, and it just like
Agreed.
he just felt like, oh, like this is a different world now. Like now I have to be a killer. And I think he realized I need help and I can't always be there. I have to go farm. I have to go scavenge. I can't always be at the house. To me, that scene in the shed where he made his son go grab the keys off of that body, to me, that was his way of killing his son's innocence and saying, like, this is now the world we live in. Unfortunately, you need to grow up. You need to be an adult now. You need to be able to handle this. There's death all around you. I need your help to protect
He definitely
this family.
did not go about that the right way though. That plus the shooting scene.
The shooting
was
scene was
not
fucked.
it. That
No,
was
now the
whole-
shooting scene was screwed up. There were so
he was
many
like,
things wrong
front
with
sight,
that.
back sight.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay. Hold on. I agree. I think his animosity towards that kid, knowing that it's not his son, took over him. I agree. I'm not arguing that point. However, the intensity, the passion was very drill sergeant-esque.
Yeah.
Right. And it was out of anger, right? Because the kid keeps pushing him. We should go north. I think we should go north. How? What are we going to do? Are you able to kill them? Sure, I can. Well, let's go. And then he put him under that kind of fucking pressure that was legit. Like He's yelling at him. He's screaming in his face. You know, this is what it's going to be like. Are you sure you're going to be able to do
There's
it?
going to be a dead zombie running at you trying to eat you. Can you shoot it?
Exactly.
Now, this guy had remarkable aim. Holy crap.
Dude.
This guy's aim was crazy.
He's
Not the kid, the
opposite
dad.
of the
The
guy
dad, yeah.
in Cargo.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's the
He's
opposite.
the
This guy,
Dude,
this guy
capped
hit so many
so
shots.
many zombies and then chucked a grenade and pieced them all. That on the
Yeah.
bridge, dude, that was kind of
Yep.
crazy. It was stumbly, you know, like he could have got caught there, but he pulled through.
That one zombie where he was at the end of the bridge or he was like by the barricade and the zombie came up behind him and he like last second flung around and just and that was crazy.
Yeah.
That shot is insane. that guy had crazy aim.
One of the points that I wanted to make was when they were shooting and the boy was missing everything and all of them came running up, right? As that whole horde of them came up, that like interests me because for whatever reason, they were not interested in them in their home. Do you guys think that was simply a fact that they couldn't hear them and the gunshots were the only thing loud enough to resonate that they could get a bead on their location? Or what drew that horde to come to them when clearly nothing else was coming their way the whole time they were there at that house?
I think that because they were so close to that church that was in the background, and the dude did say some very churchy things. I can't remember what the fuck he said. But I think it was just like a
In the name of the
congregation
Father.
In the name
Yeah.
of the Father.
I think it was a congregation of people who got murked at church, and they all started to go towards the sound of the gunshots.
Well, wait, what do you
That
mean?
was my
you think
assumption.
you think they got murked at church? Like
I
like
think
the
they were
government
trying
came
to
and-
pray the zombie away, and it didn't work out.
and the zombies came in and
Yeah.
got them.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, I think you're right, Alex. I think they weren't making enough noise at the house. They were secluded
No,
enough.
it's
The
in the
crops
walls
would block the noise.
Okay.
But when you go to an open field where everything echoes, but this is where I kind of think like #alive, where remember in #alive where they shot a gun on like the 17th story on the left side of the building, and then all the zombies knew exactly which apartment they shot the gun from.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that, where I'm like, I could kind of see it, but also there'd be so much echo. Could you really tell what direction it came from? Could a zombie really tell what direction it
think
came
they
from?
I
kinda
can
just stood
weigh
up.
in on that. I can weigh in on that. And it comes from World War Z, the book. You think of the zombies that were on that floor nearby that room, right? Or that apartment. They fired that gun. Those zombies moan and groan and make noise. From, we'll say, 100 feet away, those zombies hear them. They moan and groan and run that way.
So you think they're following each other?
Yes.
Okay.
They're
'Cause
not
they're
following
like,
the
they
gunshot.
must know where food is.
And that was a fantastic episode, chapter that we read Wednesday night, which was they're finally attacking back. They're going and reclaiming the land. The soldiers are reclaiming the land from the zombies, and they use that particular effect on purpose. They will get the zombies to come to their firing line. As soon as they enter their target zone, they start shooting. The gun recoil, the sounds will draw more of them to them. The zombies moan and groan, and they'll draw more to them. And they had stocked up enough ammo that they could sit and just fire all night long and kill every single zombie that came up to them, to the point where they created a berm 20 feet high and 100 feet deep. And every time a zombie would poke its head up, they would just take it out.
See, that makes sense because you're fighting on your terms now. You've picked a location. You're drawing them all to it, which in this movie, it did surprise me that they didn't pull Tallahassee's trick more from Zombieland. Why would you not just stand, like when they went to clear the barn? Yeah, why not just stand at the entrance and be like, hey, zombies, anybody there? And then if one runs out, you're fighting on your terms now. You're not going into a dark,
Yeah, you're
closed
prepared
area and
for
trying to
the-
fight one.
I will completely agree, because that was exactly what I thought of when he first walked into that house. He has this
Just
tire
yell.
iron. Why the hell didn't he bang the
Also,
tire iron
yeah.
on
That's a
something?
real question.
Yeah.
Why was the mom cut in half? None of the other zombies fall
Ooh.
apart like that. Why was she cut in half?
I could not figure that out. I had the most morbid thought in the entire world, and I don't think this is true.
Yeah, she was
No, I don't think this is true because she was an old lady. I think, I can't even say I think. What I thought of, which didn't make any sense whatsoever, and they didn't give me any reason to think this, was that some sick fuck had, like, what do you even say, nailed her to the ground. Like, I had because her feet didn't move at all, and I could not figure out why. And I rewound it and I watched it. Why did her feet not move when she went to turn towards him? And then she just like fell over. It doesn't make sense. And I would love a theory that would actually make more sense to me.
Well, so what I thought happened, I think when she got infected, I don't think she just got bit. I think she got eaten. So I think one of them maybe ate out most of her stomach.
Okay.
And then that's why she just kind of
I have a
split in
really
half.
probable theory. Host, I would like to I would
So
like to know if
this
you want
makes
to hear
me
it.
think that it is the least probable theory in the world.
That's
No,
how I'm
it's
feeling
highly
about it.
probable because it's happened in a zombie movie before.
Okay, go.
In Resident Evil, there is a laser trap that cuts a man into a bunch of pieces. I think they somehow got their hands on a single one of those impressive lasers. And it just so happened to be like right there. It turned off right after though. So like the family didn't it turned off. But it was on for the mom walking and it kind of cut her in half.
So was this a pre-zombie apocalypse
No,
accident?
I think the dad's father. I think he was a real avid fan of Resident Evil, so he made the trap. That's how he used to actually abuse his kids. He had the laser traps, and it was a whole thing.
So like he said, very probable.
Yeah, that's why you needed such a big generator downstairs, is because it had to power the.
Was that
lasers.
not upstairs?
It was upstairs.
What
No,
the-
it was
No,
upstairs.
that was an attic.
Yeah, because no, it wasn't an attic. They were up in the living.
Oh yeah, but
the
it
living
was okay. Yeah,
quarters.
it was like I don't know how to describe. Okay, but how did that zombie
it was
get in
like
that
a
window?
It was like a cellar.
That was
guys.
downstairs.
Yeah.
No, okay, so in the room that he was locked in, was that an upstairs room or a
Upstairs.
downstairs room?
That was a downstairs room. The room that he was locked in, that his dad would lock him in. That was
the
a
one
downstairs
he got
room.
locked in.
That was a cellar.
That was the
Okay,
cellar.
that's where
that
the
was
generator
downstairs.
was.
That's where he ran up
Okay.
the stairs at the end. That's also where the parents' bedroom was.
I must have been
Mhm.
confused
upstairs.
because I kept thinking that was upstairs.
It's
Oh,
a very
no,
confusing house.
Because
There's a lot
it was
of
downstairs, but you're looking up the stairs.
Yeah, I thought it was just like a weird upstairs. Like I thought it was upstairs, but it was just a room that went down.
I could not piece together what this house looked like because I thought that
Yeah,
generator was in like an outside like cellar thing where you have to go outside to get into it. Turns out it's in the house.
It was in the house. Yeah.
I thought it was in an attic the whole time, which is why I was so confused about that zombie in the window. I was like, how did it get on the roof?
And-
I was very confused.
Zombies can climb? What?
I was like, man, he got really lost, huh?
Now, Jacob suggests it could be a paralyzed zombie. That could also be that it could not move its legs.
The mom?
Yeah.
But there was no, like, I feel like
She
they
was
would have
standing
showed us,
there.
They would
But
have
how did
showed
she
us
even
some-
get there? Was she there the whole time? I didn't see her when he came up the stairs.
Mm-mm.
No, I think when I think it was
He
was
kind
like
of
a movie.
alerted her.
I think it was like a movie scene where like he walks out of the room and she just so
She was
happened to
there.
have walked out of the room
maybe
as well.
okay, so actual thought here. The dad. The dad's dad. Abusive
Yep.
motherfucker.
Yep.
I'm assuming she got bit first. So he tried to, end it. Wasn't aware of the brain thing. You gotta get rid of the brain. Just slice her with some sort of something. I don't know. He had a gun. I'm confused about that. But maybe she was like kind of attached a little bit still.
And maybe
And then
There's-
she kind of, as she was sitting there, kind of got a little rotty, I guess. I don't know. But
Well,
what do you
so
guys think of
here's
zombie
another thing.
designs, though? It's a very different.
Cool.
The ones on the bridge were extremely gory. I loved every single one of those.
Oh yeah, the mom splitting in
Oh
half
my
wasn't gory.
God, I mean, well, but it didn't like show it up close. It was dark. It was like they did it good, but they hit a lot. Whereas on the bridge, you could see in full sunlight what every single one of those looked like, and that was really good.
Yeah,
The
they were
black
bad.
guys
The black is that's reminiscent of another movie.
muttering
like
their
black-
last words.
Black veins in a zombie
That
movie
one
is not
scared me.
completely unoriginal.
No, the black veins. Yeah, you're right. You're right. What is that?
That's been in a zombie movie before.
yeah, that's
What it wasn't cargo, was it?
Was it
No.
perhaps the flare virus from?
Oh,
Like,
maybe.
there's that.
Maze Runner?
Yeah, so I think it's been used a lot.
It's been
Yeah.
used a few times. It's
Also-
more of like I associate it to like sand zombies, but that's just how I associate it.
I feel like
But
a lot more people
clearly
would
not the
realize
case.
that if you got bit on like an extremity, they'd be able to just cut it off and be fine. Because like the veins were traveling up bro's arm like kind of slowly
Yeah,
at the end. So I feel like he was okay.
The son?
Yeah, I feel like he was. Fine.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
I
well,
immediately
to
knew what was
fill
going to
the
happen. I
audience
was like,
in-
she's going to tourniquet it because she's a nurse and she's going to cut his shit off.
Yeah, the son got bit, and so she chopped off her
Now,
son's arm.
If the
Which-
dad wasn't being a little weirdo, he could have just chopped it in one chop, spare his son from such agony.
right.
Because he chopped the whole zombie's head
How
off.
many
one swing.
times did she freaking swing that thing?
Oh my
4?
God.
Yeah, he definitely froze up there. But I think it's one thing. Like, I think he was living his nightmare in that moment where one of his
That was
sons,
his son.
got hurt. See, I never thought he was treating his older son in a bad way.
He called him a bastard.
He did.
Well, I think that was at a point where he was losing his mind.
That's true.
And it was because his wife kept lying to him. His wife would not fall in line. She kept trying to do things her way. And now that son turned on him and started agreeing with the wife.
Yeah.
I think that's why he finally lost it and called him a bastard. But all the way up until that point, I didn't see him really treating him differently in like a, well, you're not my son kind of way. I saw him treating him differently in like a, you're older and I need your help. I need you to be an adult now.
Also,
Right.
plus 10 points to this movie for proper use of the word bastard.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's
Oh,
what it
that's a
is. That's
fitting
what he
term.
is. I don't know.
That is a fitting term. Yeah.
But okay, so the reason why I took it, I did take it at face value because she told him, I see the way you treat him. And even though he denied it, I was kind of like, okay, I want to, while I want to say he was treating him good, especially under the circumstances, I think there were some things that were evident. He made them very evident. The little boy, he came up with that sugar cane and was like, here, taste this, and the kid chewed it. He was like, whoa, candy, and I'll get you more. And then when it was dinner time, what was kind of crazy, because it was almost like the kids knew something was up, was Lucas, the youngest, was sitting there eating the sugar cane, and the mom was like, here, have some dinner. And he just ignored her and kept eating the sugar cane. And then it wasn't until his dad said, here, put that aside, eat your dinner, I'll give you more later. And the kid listened to him, which honestly, it's just a dad thing.
Yeah. I was going to say that's kind of a normal thing in general.
I see my little kids, little a-holes.
They do
They
that.
won't listen to their mom. They won't listen. They won't listen. They won't listen. And then I come in and I yell. And then all of a sudden I have this really funny story that the chat can't see. But TJ, when I came in one night and they were both, I hear my wife yelling at them to lay down, go to sleep. They won't lay down. And I walked in there after hearing her, like she pleaded with them, please lay down. And I just had enough. And I barged in the room and I just hollered at them. I said, if you both don't go to sleep and I have to come back in here,
It's a
you're
dad
both
thing.
going to get it. And they both laid down. And I tell my son, now close your eyes. And he like closed his eyes all hard. He squeezes them
it's just
shut.
a dad thing,
And I'm like,
bro. Like,
it
especially
is.
a you dad thing, because you got a deep voice. So, like, yeah.
I think it's definitely a dad thing. I think it's also kind of just a male thing. like, maybe not all, but like they have the same reaction with me, and it drives me crazy. Where like you're not always here, and I'll hear her tell them the same thing like 30 times. And there's only so many times that I can hear them keep saying no before I'm like, dude, just fucking do it. And then all of a sudden, she'll start crying and she'll finally go to the bathroom like Corinne's been telling her to do for like 30 times. Because she's like, no, come with me. And Corinne's like, I'm cooking, I can't. Come with me, I'm cooking, I can't. And so finally I'm like, dude, go to the bathroom. And she just immediately goes. I'm like, holy shit, why does it take that?
It's nuts. And I do think, children push their boundaries all the time, which that'll segue perfectly into the next point, because I think these kids, all things considered, they were very well behaved.
Yeah.
But they pushed their boundaries, the older son, which you would do. You're a teenager, you're going to push boundaries. That's exactly what you do.
Such a bad situation to be doing that.
This goes back to me saying, the zombie apocalypse doesn't make other problems go away. It compounds them.
Yeah.
Right. So this kid is sure he can do it, which I'm shocked he lived. He survived. He did it.
How?
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And he got a gun? Was that?
And he got a gun.
That's Diego's gun.
Was that Diego's
I think
gun?
it was.
Maybe he found.
I think it was.
His.
I think he found he found the camp.
They made a big point to show Diego's gun at the river. So when Josh showed up having it, his actual dad's gun, there was a clear correlation there.
I think we're at the point where we can talk about the ending.
Yeah, well, I want to bring up one point before we go to the ending.
I want to say
it really it hurt and touched me when he was talking about his dad, and he's mentioning the man who has raised him his whole life. That may be my father, but this is my dad.
Yeah.
And it just crushed me, because I'm like, I feel so bad for the dad who is trying to love this child who's not his. And it was all out of deception and disloyalty and betrayal. And he's still trying to love and raise this son to be a man. And the child reciprocates that same love. Not to him, he said it to his mom, but it was like, dude, it was just, to me, it was pretty good integrity. And it was very sad what the boy had to do at the end.
Yeah, I would also like to say the dad in this, I think he's a mix between Rick and Shane from The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Like, to a T, like he was. I think he was willing to raise the kid.
Yep.
Like, was that's not mine, but like it's my kid.
If she were to have just fallen in line and done her duties and just cut the bullshit, they would have been fine.
Oh,
they would have just lived
cooking at that freaking property.
They would have just lived a farm life. They would have been fine. They had a huge setback when the big horde came through.
Yeah.
But they got saved. They could have recouped.
Yep.
And my thought was, look, this isn't a permanent spot. My thought was, let's get settled until we're not worried about food, where we're not just eating eggs every night, where we actually feel some comfort, and then let's start considering moving out and testing our limits. But she just wanted to, she was trying to chase Diego.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But
and then the ending.
Go for it, TJ. What do you want to say?
The reason the kid shot his father, uncle, whatever, is because he thought he was a zombie, because he was saying one word and he was covered in blood. Josh, that's all he was saying. And that's all we've seen throughout the movie is that the zombies can say one word or a whole phrase.
Fuck.
So
you guys got me.
I didn't even consider that until he just said that.
You got me. Wow.
I was so confused why he shot him, but that makes so much sense.
I literally, as soon as I was like, dude, say another word. Please say another word.
That is so insightful, TJ.
It's not the son's fault at all.
It's not. No, and then he immediately realized, he's like, that's not how a zombie acts when they get shot.
Oh, man.
That is so insightful, because what I was noticing was his dad had locked them up. The son had to run away. He knew,
But Josh didn't know about the locking up part.
well, he knew the dad
In
was
the
going
main
crazy.
house. He
Yeah.
locked up the main house, and then
He locked up
ended
the main
locking
house.
them
That's
in
true.
the
That's
He
true.
said, none
That's
of
true.
you are getting out, all of that. Nobody goes anywhere. And so the kid was like, I have to go, and it was like, that is so damn good.
That's where
Also-
it actually really touched me where the kid was telling his mom he needs help. Like, I need to go outside because what I
said
was
the
saying
thing.
earlier, if he he said the thing, if the wife would have just fallen in line, they would have been fine. They would have lived a farm life. They would have been okay. They could have considered moving out later. But she pushed him to a point where he couldn't support the family anymore. And the family was slowly dying. It was basically rotting itself. And the son realized, I have to save my father now.
And at the end of
My
the day,
dad can't do this anymore.
the son can take a life. He was
Yeah.
bullshitting. He was like, I could do it. I could do it. Screaming in the field. I could do it. Takes one shot, one kill. So
Did
he'll be able to somewhat take care of his brother and
Oh,
mom.
Do you think that foreshadowed it to saying now he definitely can take over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And
He
that's cool.
finally did. And I think that he did it out in the wild, but this was the time that they decided to show us. Wow. What a good episode.
But I do want to say one last thought. The father definitely had some bad feelings towards his eldest son when he was going crazy. But the moment where he died, maybe I'm crazy, but it seemed like he went back to normal for a second. And he
went back into
realized-
dad mode. He went back into I
Yeah.
have to help my
Right.
family. So he ran
it's
out.
like-
He fucking sprinted there.
No,
Yep.
not that part. Not that. I mean his
Oh.
literal final moments where he's laying on the ground and he's
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at
He
Josh.
said son.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was realizing where I don't know. I never thought that he treated that kid badly until he started treating everybody badly.
Yeah.
Until the turning point was that fucking acting scene he did where he comes back from the field and he's like, "There's so many of them. They're so fast. They're so fast." That was the moment where I was like, "You lost me, dude," because now you're just like her.
Yep.
You're lying just like her to get your way.
Yep.
And you've lost me at that
He
point.
also said you lied first.
He did. So I gotta bring the chat back in, and this is just for you, Eric. Jacob Harbor, our
back.
subscriber, asks, "Did Ludacris appear in the movie for Eric?"
Oh, he did.
Luda
Luda appeared. Luda was everywhere in this movie.
He was actually his exact
What a reference, dude.
character
That's a
from
throwback right
wow,
there.
Jacob.
Fast and the Furious.
That's a throw. Somebody is watching some of our old content here. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
That's
Thank
an
you.
old one. That's very funny.
All right, guys. Why don't you go check out Outside? It's a Netflix original, 2 hours and 22 minutes long. It's a very good watch. I saw some people say it's slow at the beginning. I can relate, but it's worth it.
It's
You
slow,
get into
but
it,
it builds.
And it builds, and it's not going to stop. And
It's a constant build,
heart-pounding,
too.
and you get emotional in it. You can feel the anger, the frustration, the isolation, claustrophobia. Go check out our socials. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Will You Survive the Podcast. You can also get us on X at Alex and Eric WYS. You can email us, theboys, THEBOYS, at Will You Survive the Podcast. Let us know what you thought of Outside and tell us, what do you think? And will you survive? Also, please let us know any suggestions you have for a movie for us to watch, a Will You Survive scenario that you want us to cover. We would love to hear your ideas and your critiques. Tell us what you think of the podcast. Let us know on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere that lets you comment. And tell us what you think. Binge our stuff like our subscriber Josh is doing. We love it. thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Will You Survive the Podcast. We love you all. We thank you all for all of your support and for tuning in. Make sure you also go back and binge some of our other episodes. We have dozens of episodes for you to sink your teeth into. Or maybe they'll sink their teeth into you. And until next time, everybody, stay alive.
Except for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Fuck you and your stupid ass movie that just came out.